Hey, so now that we're right on the edge of the CDC actually putting out guidelines for acting safe, because you should be, and you probably should have been doing this the whole time, but, well, Americans are stubborn. Anyway, I'm going to give you a couple of great tips that you really, really need to know. So, it's a dangerous or, mostly scary world out there, but there's a lot you can do. Of course, you already know. Wash your hands. That's easy. For my sake, because yes, cats can get it too. Apparently, it's mild and easily fought, but still, you can get us sick. So, be careful. Dogs too. There might be one that even died. So, be extra careful around dogs. So anyway, a mask. A mask is a great thing to have. As I've heard it said by so many people that completely want to poo-poo all the help that others are trying to give, don't take masks from people that need them. If professionals need them, make sure they have them, because, they are the ones doing the healing. But if you got to go out, you really should probably wear a mask. If nothing else, then that it'll help keep other people safe from you. So, here's what you got to know. Before you put on your mask, you make sure that your hands are clean. Give them a good wash, and if you've got some, sanitize. Then, let them dry. Just let them dry. Don't wave your hands around like a windmill. Just let them dry. It won't take long. And then, once they're dry, because moisture and alcohol and some other things, I think, can negatively affect the static charge on most masks, you want to keep them from getting any sanitizer or liquid on them, because they lose effectiveness, and, you're trying to help yourself and others. So, you touch the mask. When you put it on, you adjust the bridge of the nose. There'll be, generally, unless it's a surgical mask, there'll be something for the bridge of the nose to pinch down and make sure you get an adequate seal. If you want to be sure, keep a piece of glass or a mirror around, hold it over your nose, and breathe out real deep. And if you see any fog on it, it's not good. Now remember, you got to do all of this adjustment and checking first. You don't walk out the door until everything's in place. And then, once you walk out that door, you can't touch it again until you get home. And then, if it's disposable, well, you throw it away. If it's disposable and you're in a situation where you can't dispose of it, I believe you can wash them with UV, but I don't know. Most disposables are disposable for a reason. So if you're doing that, you might just be better off with a DIY that you can actually wash. It won't have the static properties you want, but at least it will provide some filtration. But again, the important things you have to remember. Your face is off limits. You can't touch your face with hands that have not been immediately cleaned. Beforehand, not after. It doesn't matter if you got poison in your eyes if you wash your hands after you got poison in your eyes. There's still poison in your eyes. Stupid. So, don't do that. Now, I also recommend gloves. Even just a plain old pair of cloth gloves. They'll remind you that your hands stay away from your face. So the way this works is simple. If you've ever had poison ivy or poison oak, then you know that you don't scratch it. Well, that's it. That's how it works. You don't scratch it. You don't touch it. You don't do anything. If your face itches, it'll pass. If it doesn't pass, then you've got to find a way to completely clean your hands and disinfect your hands before you do anything about it. And by the time you're done, it's probably not going to itch anymore. So just ignore it. It will pass. Like most bad things. Now then, you're going about your day. You've figured out, oh, I don't touch my face. I don't touch my mask because you can't adjust the mask. If you touch the mask with poison, the mask is poisoned. And now you're breathing poison. So don't do that. Poison is bad for you. Don't touch. Don't poison. As soon as you walk out your front door or touch anything that you can't account for having been sanitized, you are poisoned. Do not poison yourself. Do not poison others. So, now that we have a working understanding of the situation, you're out. You know not to poison yourself, not to poison others. You've finished your day, and let's say you wear glasses. Well, you get home, you take off your glasses, maybe you put them in the sink or wherever, and then you take off your mask. But first, you don't take off your mask. You wash your hands. If you're like me, you have one that is not disposable and is meant to be cleaned and reused. So you clean yourself, at least to a basic level, and then you clean your mask. Well, you take off your mask and clean it. Then you take off any outer layer and set that aside for the wash. Then clean your hands once more, maybe take a shower, maybe not, depending on your level of concern. And then you go about your evening. Make sure you're cleaned up and have yourself whatever meal you're intending and enjoy the rest of the day until it begins again the next day. And you have to slap on your gloves and throw on your mask. And when that happens, your face is off limits. I would recommend not scratching your body anywhere, if you can. It's difficult, but you can figure it out in time. But again, wash your hands. Don't touch your face. If you're wearing a mask, don't touch the mask. Ever. Ever. Pull it off by the straps if you can. That'll be better for the mask and safer. Now, I think I've covered all my bases. I'm just trying to get out something here in the veins of a duck and cover kind of thing. So, get a mask. Wear a mask. Don't touch it ever. Ever, 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 ever. Without clean hands. And sanitized, for that matter. So, if you are in a place where you don't have access to sanitizer, and you don't necessarily have access to these cleaning supplies, third world, what have you, find some soap, wash your hands at the end of your day, take off your mask, and wash your mask, because if you're in a third world situation, you're going DIY. So take off your mask and wash it as well, thoroughly. Leave it out to dry in a place that it will not be exposed to contaminants. Preferably in the sun, if that's possible. The UV is an excellent disinfectant. And just be as safe as you can. Provide as much distance as you can, even in places where you're cramped. Because every little thing will help, will get us to safety sooner, and will save lives. So, I hope this is helpful. Remember, wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Never, ever touch your mask until your hands are clean. And be safe. All my love. I'll see you soon. Whoa. What in the world? No. Not just a computer. All right. All my love.